So this video is through into 3/4, so we're going to be graphing and solving different types of inequalities, even with some types of word problems. So here's a word problem. To advance to your second year of school, your semester grade, G, so we have G right here, has to be no less than 70%. So I know my variable is G, and my G can be no less than 70%. So I have my 70%. 70% right here, okay? That means 70%, it cannot be anything less than that. So everything I have has to be greater than that, okay? It can be no less than 70%, but it looks like it can be 70%. So it can be greater than or equal to 70%. So 71 works, 72 works, 73 works, okay? So there are 3 different values that would work if I put them in. My lawnmower can hold at most 13 gallons of gas. So let's say lawnmower is going to be M. So we have our M and our 13 gallons of gas. So it holds at most 13. So it can have anything from 13 or lower. Okay, so what are different amounts? We got 6 gallons, we got 5 gallons, we got 4, we got 3, we got 2, we got 1, we got 0. But you can't have negative gallons of gas, so please don't put a negative number. The product of 2 and x, so we got product of 2 and x, is at most 15. So we know product is multiply, and it is at most 15. Okay, so it is at the most it can be is 15. So I'm going to solve for x, so I got to divide. So I got x is less than or equal to 15 over 2, which is 7.5. So I need to think of 3 different values, so 6, 1, 0, and so on and so forth. Okay, now we're going to try graphing. So my variable always has to be on the left side for me to do my little arrow trick, but I know my value sits at 2. Okay, it has this line underneath it, so it means it's a closed dot. If it was just this, it would be an open dot. Okay, so my variable is sitting on my left side, so I can do my little cheat arrow thing. See how that kind of looks like an arrow? So we're going to be shading to the right. Okay, but I want to name 3 other values that would be true. So since it's being shaded to the right, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of those values are different values that would be true in this situation here. Okay, so this one, we know it's at -1. It's a closed dot because it has the greater than or equal to in it. And then my variable is sitting on my left side, so I can do my cheat arrow, so it's going to go to the left. So more values. We're going left this time, so -2, -3, -4. There are different values that are going to work that when I put them in for x, they're going to be true. Okay, so my value sits at 6. This time it is an open dot because it is not greater than or less than or equal to. So it's an open dot. Okay, and my variable sits on the left side, so I can go ahead and shade the arrow it points, so it points to the right. So 3 different values that work are 7, 8, and 9. Okay, I know this one sits at 9. Again, it's an open dot because it doesn't have the line underneath the inequality. Okay, our variable is sitting on our left side, so we can do our cheat arrow. This one points to the left, so anything less than 9. So we got -8, -20, -100. We could have done 0. Okay, so those are 3 values that are less than 9. Okay, now we have to solve it before we graph it because I need x by itself to be able to do it. So let's subtract 2 to get rid of it. So we got -6x is greater than 20 minus 2 is 18. We divide by -6. When we divide by a negative number, we flip our sign. So now my inequality is facing the opposite direction. 18 divided by -6 is -3. Now I can graph it. So my point sits at -3. It is an open dot. My variable sits on my left side, so I can do my cheat arrow, which goes to the left. So 3 different values are -4, -5, -6, so on and so forth, because it has to sit to the left of -3. Okay, we have to distribute now this time. So we got -2x, make sure you do it to both, so -2 times 6 is -12. Okay, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So I'll have -12 is less than 3x minus 9. We can add 9. So now I have -3 is less than 3x. divide by 3. So negative 1 is less than x. So my point sits at negative 1. It is an open dot. Okay, but this time my variable is sitting on the wrong side. So right now my x is being eaten, so I need to keep eating my x. And now I can do my little cheat arrow to the right. So more values would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So make sure your variable is always sitting on the left side if you're trying to do your cheat arrow. Okay, we gotta do things not attached to x first, so let's subtract 1 from both sides. So we got negative x over 2 is less than or equal to negative 7. To get rid of this 2, I have to multiply both sides by 2, so now I have negative x is less than or equal to negative 14. Okay, this is the same thing as having a negative 1, so let's divide both by negative 1. When I divide by negative, I flip my sign, so now x is greater than or equal to a positive 14, because two negatives make a positive. Okay, so now my value is sitting at 14, and it is a closed dot. Okay, my variable is sitting on my left side, so I can do my cheat arrow, which is to the right. So more values are 15, 16, 100, 1,000, a billion, it doesn't matter as long as it sits to the right of 14.